So I'm gonna make some breakfast right now, but look at our sourdough starter. We fed it last night, and so today I'm gonna try and make some little mini, like, flavored sourdough loaves. We got these little mini bowls, so I'm gonna try and put them in there. And then also we got a scoring tool, so it's getting real up in here. The sourdough obsession is taking over, but first things first, we need to make some breakfast. Also, my tripod's supposed to be coming today, which is so exciting, so hopefully we'll be able to get much better angles very soon. All right, so you already know I literally eat the same exact breakfast every single day, but it's egg whites, then some eggs, cottage cheese, and then also I love putting corn in my eggs, which I know is probably very, very strange to most people, but it makes it 100 times better. And then I just add one egg. Wow, it's the last one in the carton. And then I like to add just like a little spoonful of cottage cheese into the actual eggs when I cook it, because it makes it like a little fluffier. I don't know, like that much into the bowl. And now we whisk it all up. All right, so now I'm just
throw in some, probably just the rest of this corn into the eggs, which are kind of starting to cook a little bit.
All right, now I'm gonna get my creatine ready. This is the kind that I take. I just get it off of Amazon, and I like to just take with my breakfast because that's what I remember. I've tried pretty much all the flavors at this point, but it's honestly, it's pretty affordable. I thought creatine was expensive, and it definitely can be, but it's about like less than 20 bucks for this whole thing. So I just add that into my water, and then I'll drink this with breakfast. A little update while these eggs are like pretty much done, but my scale weight today was back down a bit from when it really had spiked up. So I'm still up like about kind of a pound, I'd say, from where I started. So I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll keep my food the same for a bit, and we'll just kind of see where my weight is trending, because it's like the scale is hard because you fluctuate so much just naturally that it's hard to really know where you're truly sitting at. All right, so the bread is done too. First, so this is our eggs, and then I just like to, you know, scoop a ton of cottage cheese next to it. Somehow this angle is terrible. And now cover in salt and a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning. Now for the bread, I like to put some cottage cheese on the lemon blueberry one, and then I'll put a little bit of this whipped cream cheese on the cinnamon kind, and then I like to leave the banana bread plain. I just put a little sugar-free syrup because it makes it better, okay? And then I'll just have a little bit of fruit on the side, and yeah, that's my breakfast. I'm literally obsessed. I go to bed every night excited to eat this, and it's amazing. It gives me so much energy and keeps me full for a pretty long time. Also, does anyone else have like the problem of like their egg whites getting like watery? Just me. All right, I'm gonna clean up my breakfast and then get to starting on the sourdough. But something I've been like really trying to work on lately is like slowing down while I'm eating, because it's always like shoving everything into my face as fast as I can. It's so hard to slow down. Like, I don't know why it's so hard, but I'm really trying to work on that because I feel like it'll just make me feel so much better and like digest better too. All right, guys, sorry for this angle. I'm really hoping my tripod should get here today, so I'm sorry, you cannot see what I'm doing, but I have my little bowl. I think this is gonna be way too small, but we'll give it our best shot. So I went ahead, I'm gonna zero out the scale, and then here's our starter. Since I'm making mini loaves, we just need 40 grams of it. Next, we need 200 grams. I'm gonna zero out the scale again. And we need 200 grams of bread flour. Next, we need 150 grams of warm water. Now, our final thing is we need 4 grams of salt. Now we mix it up all together. And I'm making 4 mini loaves today. So I'm just gonna repeat this process 3 more times. And since I'm gonna be doing 2 lemon flavored loaves, I'm gonna add in some lemon juice into the dough in replace of some of the water. But yeah, I'll come back and check in when this is all done. All right, now I'm just gonna take the dogs out for a walk while I wait for these to set for an hour, and then we'll do our 3 rounds of stretch and folds. All right, you guys, I promise the tripod is on its way, but until then, you get these really cute angles. So I just want to walk, and it was great. Now I'm gonna wash up. So I'm doing a raspberry lemon loaf and a blueberry lemon loaf. And so I'm gonna add in some of the mix-ins right now as I do my stretch and fold. So I'm washing some raspberries and blueberries right now. Guys, I did in fact forget which ones I put lemon in. I'm pretty sure I put lemon in these, and the 2 over here. Pretty sure these 2 are plain, but hopefully that's right. Otherwise this will be interesting. But I'm gonna do my first round of stretch and folds. I need to wet my hands so that it doesn't stick. Literally no idea what I'm doing. I've done this before. Look at that. Not very well. All right, so now I have some lemon zest. This is just the zest of 1 lemon, and I'm gonna divide it into these 2, which are my mini lemon loaves, and one of them will be getting blueberries. The other one will be getting raspberries. All right, so I finished my first round of stretch and folds. I'm gonna wait 30 minutes, do 2 more, then do that 2 more times, and then while I'm waiting for those 30 minutes, I'm gonna get some of my history homework done. Yes, my tripod is here. All right, I'm gonna try and get it set up. Also, creatine came, new flavor, we got watermelon. All right, so the tripod is here, it is working. It took so long, we had to like get pliers to try and get the thing to turn. The thing didn't even, it was a whole mess. I almost crashed out. But now we're gonna make my pre-workout snack, and it's literally the same exact thing I eat every single time because it genuinely is like my favorite thing ever. So we're gonna do 2 rice cakes. I just use like the plain kind because I like adding my own things to it, but use whatever kind you want. I wish you could like see this better, but all right, the tripod is here. And yeah, so sorry, I kind of just went MIA, but I finished making my snack. I had that, and now we're gonna get our workout in. Today is upper body 2. So first I'm gonna start with my warm-up walk on my walking pad as always. All right, so I just finished my warm-up walk, and now I'm gonna do some banded movements, some arm swings, and just do my dynamic warm-up. Then our first exercise today is weighted pull-ups. So I'm gonna try weighted. This is 17.5 pounds. I've never done this much, but I'm gonna give it a try, see what we can do. Also, this is like not an ideal setup because I can't get like all the way above the bar, but hopefully you can see this okay. So like I said, our first exercise is weighted pull-ups. I'm holding a dumbbell between my legs here and just going for as many reps as I can, trying to go as slow and controlled as possible and really getting my chin fully above the bar. A form tip here is to really think about pulling down with your elbows, but I was really proud of myself for this. I'd never done pull-ups with this much weight before. And we're doing 3 sets of as many reps as possible here. This first set, I got 7, and then that decreased each set. So that's the most weight I've ever done for weighted pull-ups, and honestly, that felt really good. So I'm gonna keep the weight the same for my second set and try and get like probably 6 reps, maybe 5, because my strength declines in pull-ups so quickly, and then I'll probably go down for my third and final set. All right, so I'm on my first set of bench. We're doing 2 sets here. I like to go for strength, so not going for super high reps. I got like 2 reps on one set and 3 reps on the other set last week, so we'll see how many we can get this week. We're doing 2 sets here on bench, and as I mentioned before, I really like going for strength here, so I go for lower reps and just trying to see how heavy I can go. I'm really focusing on pushing through my heels and using my breath. Got barbell underhand rows next. I'm going a little lighter than normal because I want to make sure I'm leaning fully over and not swinging too much. So we'll see how many reps I can get here, prioritizing form. We got 2 sets of barbell bent over rows here. I like doing these underhand, really trying to focus on bending over. I noticed in the past I haven't really fully bent over all the way, so I'm really focusing on that and then really trying not to swing the weight or use momentum and really just using my back. My chin is a little tucked right here. I should definitely be looking a little bit farther in front of me. And again, 2 sets of AMRAP here. Next up, I'm doing deficit push-ups. I'm doing like 3 seconds on the way down, 3-second hold at the bottom, 3 seconds up, and I'm gonna put a 10-pound plate on my back. So these are my deficit push-ups. We're doing 2 sets here, about as many reps as you can. I just put 10-pound plate on my back, and I'm trying to go really slow and controlled controlling on the way down, holding at the bottom, and then controlling on the way up as well. Next, we got a reverse fly for our mid-back. Try hard not to swing too much. It's okay if there's a little swinging, but try as much as you can to control the movement. And then at the end, I just like to go into a few partials. 2 sets of, I'm normally in the upper like 10 to 12 rep range, just so that I'm not going too heavy and using too much momentum. I just finished my reverse flies. Now we're doing seated lateral raises. I have the bench at like 60 degrees, and then I just like to, when I get to the top, I like to pause for a second. So we got seated lateral raises next, 2 sets of about 8 to 10, and then I like to go into partials at the end with these as well. Again, trying to pause at the top, and I'm doing these seated to try and help eliminate swinging, but sometimes I do notice my traps taking over, so really try and lead with the elbows and use the shoulders to initiate this movement. On our last upper body movement, and then we have 2 core moves today, but we're going to do hammer curls now. I'm going to try and do the 30 pounds, and we'll see how many reps we get. So our final arm exercise is hammer curls, just doing 2 sets yet again. I really love doing 2 sets. It allows me to give my all, but then not feel too fatigued as if I were doing additional sets. So I'm trying not to swing too much. It's a little hard with these, but trying to control it as much as possible. So we're on to abs now. I'm doing the ab roller, and then I'm supersetting it with some weighted hanging crunches. So for abs, I do 2 sets of each of these exercises. I like to superset them. So the first is the ab roller. I really try and think about using my core and kind of tucking my core to help me get up. It helps me really feel and isolate my core here. I try and also go out as far as I can and get that full stretch. And then I do these hanging crunches. I'm holding a 12-pound dumbbell between my feet and just trying to get as many reps as I can, going into a few partials at the end just to really hammer out the abs. And that's it for today's workout. Here's a little pump check. I love this workout. It's so fun. Let me know if you give it a try, and let's get strong. Great job today. That's a wrap on our upper body day. I'm gonna go make some lunch now. All right, so I got my lunch here. It's very pretty. This is a cottage cheese yogurt bowl with a little bit of chocolate protein powder, PB2, crumbled up Citrus Delicious, and fruit on top. And I also put in some chia seeds. And then, because I'm so obsessed with it, some homemade sourdough. This is lemon blueberry with some cottage cheese and sugar-free syrup, and then the banana bread as well. So I'm gonna probably watch a show, do this, and then do some more homework for a bit. I also snacked on a ton of grapes. All right, so I just edited for a while, but these little stands came in to like hold records, and I have a record collection, so we're gonna use this to try and display them somewhere in my room. All right, I'm thinking maybe like right here, but I'll add the records and see how it looks. I feel like Folklore and Evermore are like the vibes right now. And then this is my little snack, a rice cake, BB2, cottage cheese, blueberry, sugar-free syrup, and grapes. Not a surprise to anyone. And then I just read for a bit. All right, I'm gonna do some stretching now because I promised myself I would. So this is like definitely not an ideal setup. I'm really just on this small space of carpet in my room, but we're gonna give it a try. I like, my favorite poses are just some like the pigeon pose. So I'll probably, if I'm being honest, I'll probably just scroll on my phone while I do this because that's where I'm at right now. It's a work in progress, but I am getting my stretching done today. I did it. I'm holding myself accountable right now. And then for dinner, I had a fruit salad with milk, and then a grilled packet with a bunch of veggies, beans, corn, shrimp, yellow rice, and also lots of salsa and a little bit of guac and some yogurt. And I love making little lettuce wraps with these. Now it is sourdough assembly time, so this is just a really fast motion of me trying to make sourdough. So this was a cinnamon loaf. I added just some normal cinnamon and then some cinnamon sugar into this one. Then I cleaned up a little bit in between, and my next loaf was a strawberry cream cheese loaf, so these were my ingredients. And then I just repeat the same process of spreading out the dough and adding in the add-ons and then rolling it up. I'm definitely not very good at this, so if you have any tips, please let me know. Our next loaf is lemon blueberries, so I already added the lemon zest and blueberries into the dough, and then I'm adding some lemon curd and just more blueberries as I'm rolling it up. And our final mini loaf of the day is some raspberry lemon, so I'm using the same lemon curd. There's already lemon zest and raspberries in it, but I'm adding in some more, and there's the final one. I almost spilled it everywhere. Now it is cleanup time. Alright, so I just finished making my 4 different types of sourdough, so we'll see how those turn out tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for coming along. I'm probably just gonna shower and then relax for the rest of the night, but thanks for joining, coming along on this journey. It's been really fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Let's go get strong. This was my amazing dessert to end off the night, a big bowl of Lesserville popcorn with Drizzlicious. And then I made this yogurt bowl with some Ready Whip, sugar-free syrup, blueberries, and then the end of the birthday cake Drizzlicious bag. The real ones know that's the best part. And that's all for this video. Thanks so much for following along, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's go get strong. Bye!